Alright, so my microphone unplugged. I didn't even realize that. I apologize, guys. But, guys, welcome to another ship review. I lost like 12 minutes of recording. I'm so mad right now. But welcome, guys, to another ship review. There's going to be Atelier Ryza this time around. Now, again, like I said in the one before I screwed up on, or the one I screwed up on, this is going to be one of those collab events or ship banners where it's overcomplicated. These ships have augments and items that they need to have equipped to be at their best. So I won't gloss over a lot of these like augments or whatever because I'll be talking about that in the upcoming video. It's gonna be long. This video is gonna be long itself, and some of the items I'll gloss over, but I won't talk about it. Talk about them individually as well too. I'll talk about that in the upcoming video. This video though, we'll be talking about the ships individually. All right, so let's get right into it because I spent a long time talking about this first ship. And I'm kind of mad about it because I lost 12 seconds or 12 minutes of recording. Anyways, though, Kala Idea, the first SSR large cruiser in the game, at 120, 6,593 health, 273 firepower, 0 torpedoes, 0 aviation, 229 anti-air, 163 reload, 37 evasion, medium armor, 22 speed, 125 on hit, 59 luck, and 13 oil cost. So across the board, not bad stats. Kind of low for a large cruiser, but she SSR tier, so I don't expect much from it. But regardless, though, a very, very good tank for a lot of new players that don't have large cruisers. This is actually a really, really good pickup. Now, going on to her efficiencies, 110 on the large cruiser and heavy cruiser guns, 45 for auxiliary light cruiser gun, and 100 for the anti-air. Again, not amazing, but SSR, and hey, she's a tank, so good enough. Good enough. All right. So, because she's a collab ship, fleet technology is not available here, so no stats, no permanent stats, or any of that jazz. Let's get right into the skills. So, Dark Spirit here. Every 6 times this ship fires her secondary gun, if she has 10 or more AP action points, consumes 10 AP and activates Dark Spirit. When the battle starts, if this ship is in the frontmost position of your vanguard and there are other ships that are afloat in your vanguard when Dark Spirit activates, adds a dark element to this ship in the rearmost position. So in this case right here, my Cal ID is in front, right? So the person that gets Dark Spirit is gonna be Marble Hit. So she's gonna be the one getting the buff right here, all right? Because she's in the rearmost position. If the ship is not in the frontmost position, when Dark Spirit activates, adds a dark element to the ship in the frontmost position. So the spot that I was talking about earlier, if Kala's not here and Janice is here instead, she gets the buff. A ship with a dark element takes 50%, 50 damage, not 50%, that's a lot, and deals 8% damage for 5 seconds. Now here's the thing. A really good ship that can maximize this kind of buff is a really good gunboat because gunboats have basically a really good uptime compared to torpedo vanguards because torpedo vanguards are more burst oriented, and if you're an auto player, you're not going to time this, so you're better off getting a gunboat. Now there are a couple gunboats that are really good in this game. Most of them are PR ships like Drake and well, kind of a gunboat, not really though. Yes, torpedo slots, but still decently though. And Plymouth, same as well too. These ships can really maximize getting Dark Spirit because they do a lot of damage by themselves. So it is what it is, right? So if you have like large cruiser or large heavy cruisers or something that can utilize this buff, it's better to slap it onto those ships or Plymouth, I guess. As a DD though, you can get some value out of this. You probably wouldn't get like amazing amount of it because a lot of their damage comes from like procs and stuff, but I guess that could work too. But I don't know, I think heavy cruiser, large cruiser gets more out of it though. But regardless, though, dark element is a really good buff. 8% more damage for whoever gets the buff for 5 seconds. The window is small though, but again, it's a really, really good buff. Now, I was talking about this for like 5 minutes before I got interrupted because I didn't record on audio, my bad. But Holy Trail right here, the second skill. Increase the ship's anti-air and evasion by 15%. When the battle starts, if this ship is in the frontmost position... Excuse me. Oh my god. When this ship's in your frontmost position, the other ships and there are other ships afloat adds a light element to the ship in the rearmost position. So once again, Marblehead position right here, okay? And if the ship is not in the frontmost position, then whatever ship's in the front gets the buff. So in this case, Janice, all right? So in this clip, or in this skill right here, my bad, not clip. Sorry, allergies are killing me right now. So basically, it works the same way as Dark Spirit, but in this case, it's not a buff, it's a heal. Now, I like this skill a lot because it heals for 5% of her max HP for that ship. The skill activates 12 seconds, or there's a 12-second cooldown between these activations. So, I like this skill because you can basically target who wants to get the heals. So, for example, let's go back to here. In this case, Marblehead gets the heal. So she gets like, let's say if a fight is like, or a sortie is like 30 to 40 seconds, okay? She's gonna get 15% heals. And then, let's say Janice is low. They will alternate. After next sortie, Marblehead is low. We alternate. We keep alternating to get all these health for these backliners healthy. And let's say Kala Idea is low HP now. And we have Janice who has, with the DD, but let's say she has like 5,000 HP. Now she could be the tank. And Idea can chill in the back line and heal her up. So she can play as a main tank and as a healer support tank as well too. That's actually really, really good. I like the skill a lot because you can target who wants to get the heals, and you can like min-max between your entire Vanguard fleet for a campaign run. Like this skill right here is really good for campaign because you change who gets targeted with the heals and make it a much better experience compared to just, all right, let's just toss in maximum HP heals or whatever, right? Now, it isn't Perseus, it isn't Unicorn, but it's still really good for a Vanguard heal. So, I like this skill a lot. Now, for the third skill here, Luna Judgment, every 4 times the ship fires her main guns, the ship gains 10 AP action points. Increase the ship's damage dealt against sirens by 10%. So, I didn't talk about this earlier, but action points are like mana, I guess, in JRPGs, or depends on the game you're playing, but kind of like that. So it's like a counter. So when Kala Idea fires her main gun 4 times, she gains a counter of 10 AP. And that 10 AP is used to power up Dark Spirit. So when you have Dark Spirit running, it consumes all her 10 AP, and Kala Idea has to stock up another 4 more times fired to get 10 more AP. So that's how it works. And she gains a 10% damage increase to sirens. So, actually not that bad. I believe this is one of the rare ships that's like a collab that does damage to sirens. So that's really, really good. So, 10 AP. I like it a lot. But it's a really gimmicky kit. And it may be complicated for most players. Just basically think of it as like, don't think too much of it. Just slap it on. If she has her gear, she's fine. But it's like a counter to empower up or Dark Spirit. So that's basically what you think of it as. Now the augment module for Luna Judgment Plus. It goes from 4 times fired on her main guns to 2 times fired on her main guns. The AP is the same. Damage dealt is the same. But here's the new part. Every 3 times the ship's Dark Spirit activates, Fatal Drive Luna Judgment at level 10. Damage based on a skill's level. And adds a Luna element to the Atelier Ryza ships, excluding this one. Within 3 seconds of gaining Luna element, if that ship takes damage that will sink her, that character does not sink, recovers 3% of her max HP, and evades all attack for 3 seconds. So it's kind of like an emergency button, like this ship doesn't die. The issue with this skill is that the window is 3 seconds, so it's really, really tiny. But it's still nice to have the extra damage coming out of Luna Judgment because free damage, and it makes it so 4 times fired on main guns goes to 2 times. So having her augment is really good, but I won't talk about her augment in this video. I'll talk about it in the upcoming video. It's not bad. So overall, this ship is really good. Great stats, easy accessible because you get her from a milestone reward, so 10,000 points. Kit overall has damage buffs, even though it's complicated to work with, kind of. Not really though, but kind of difficult. Heals lets you min-max heals a bit, as long as you play around the positions of your vanguards. Damage to Cyrus level 2. Overall, really good. The big issue with Kala Ideas is the gun accessibility that she has. As a large cruiser, is like this. So, because she's a large cruiser, the only large cruiser guns you have access to are the ones in the PR. Unless you were at the Kronstadt event that gives a free one, all the other large cruiser guns in the game are from PR. Now, you can give her a heavy cruiser gun, and that could be okay too. But large cruiser guns are much better for most large cruiser ships, obviously. So, if you guys don't have access to large cruiser guns, you could definitely just use heavy cruiser guns, though. That is definitely a thing. But overall, though, Kala Ideas is a really good ship. Really accessible to most new players. And overall, just a really good tank. So the next ship here is Klaudia Valentz. So Klaudia Valentz is a light aircraft carrier, and her stats are at 120, 6,047 health, 0 firepower, 0 torpedo, 403 aviation, 264 on the anti-air, 192 on the reload, 72 on the evasion, medium armor, 28 speed, 93 on the hit, 54 on the luck, 83 on the anti-sub, and 12 on the oil cost. So nothing like super amazing, like a regular, basically like aircraft stats. So normal across the board. Now, when it comes to efficiency, she has a fighter and 2 torpedo bomber slots. So 135 on the fighter slot, 130 on the torpedo bomber, 130 on the second torpedo bomber. Overall, a very good wave clearing aircraft, because she has 2 torpedo bomber slots, so you just toss in 2 parallels. Fighter slots, you just toss in whatever. Not bad at all. Again, a fleet tech because no fleet tech because she has a collab ship. Let's go to the skills. So, Klaudia's skills, Frozen Lily. Every 10 seconds, if this ship has 10 or more AP, consumes 10 AP and activates Frozen Lily. Damage is based on skills level. Enemies hit by this skill are slowed by 15% for 5 seconds. So, Kala Idea didn't have a image for her. Oh my gosh, I didn't show this. Sorry guys, I didn't show the Klaudia stuff. Apologize, but here's the stats right here. But Frozen Lily. So Kala Ideas didn't have her barrage right here because they don't have it yet, but Claudia's has hers. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the skill for Frozen Lily is this one right here, and it just drops from the ceiling. So you guys see the ice dropping right here. That's Frozen Lily right here. And enemies hit by this are slowed by 15% for 5 seconds. So, well, we'll have to see how the AP gets first. So let's talk about that after we get Blessed Melody. Blessed Melody, when this battle starts, this ship gains 10 AP. All ships in your fleet recovers 5% of their max HP at the start. That's actually a lot. So 5% max HP at the start of a battle is like a preload, but not really, because Klaudia doesn't have to do an airstrike, so that's really good. And all your Atelier Ryza collab ships recover an additional 2% of their max HP. So it goes from 5 to 7%. So you have 7% for Atelier Ryza collab ships and 5% for just regular ships. So overall, that's a very interesting kit because it procs on the start of a story. So that's really good. When this ship launches an airstrike, your Vanguard recovers 5% of their max HP, and all your Atelier Ryza collab ships recover an additional 2%, so 7%. Once per battle, when a ship in your fleet falls below 30% max HP as a result of damage taken, this ship gains 10 AP, and that ship recovers 5% of their max HP. So this ship is actually really good for like difficult content, because a lot of the time, if you're in difficult content, your Vanguards may be in the very low health range, and this will make it so she can get more AP and that ship can heal, so they never actually like sink or whatever. So combined with Frozen Lily, if you have low HP ships, you can proc Frozen Lily quite often. Actually, it's actually not that bad. Very gimmicky because you want to have low HP ships. So having Klaudia around makes it so like if they're low, she procs her Frozen Lily a lot for damage and slows, and she has so much heals like as a ship overall. So that's actually really good. And then White Requiem increases this ship's aviation accuracy by 15% every 8 seconds. This ship gains 8 AP. So this right here, 8 AP every 8 seconds. So what is 1 AP per second? So say a fight is about 30 seconds. She's gonna proc this 3 times. So that's 24 AP. She could probably get like, if you have low HP, like 3 Frozen Lily procs in 30 seconds. That's actually a lot. That's really good. And Augment module, White Requiem Plus. If increases the ship's aviation accuracy by 50%. Every 8 seconds, the ship gains 8 AP. Every 2 times the ship's Frozen Lily skill activates Fatal Drive, White Requiem, damage based on skills level. So I believe the skill right here or something like that. Actually, is it? Yeah, so it's like it just fires a laser or whatever. So that's basically what it is. So overall, Klaudia is actually a really good ship. Now I know a lot of people, when I saw this banner or this banner came out, a lot of people said these ships are kind of whatever. I think these ships are really good in the sense that if you put them all together in one fleet, they're really powerful. Like they're really good. So I like Klaudia's kit a lot. She can also work with other ships as well too, not just Atelier Ryza collab ships. So the heals are amazing. The utility and damage from procs are really good too. She has a decent self buff, 15% aviation accuracy. I like this shit, man. Can't go wrong. And she has 2 torpedo bomber slots and a fighter slot with decent efficiency as well too, 130, 130, 135. Really good. Like this ship a lot. It's really good. Now, clothing these things. Now, she doesn't have an item attack, so we don't need to talk about items here. Let's go to Patricia Abelheim. So, battleship right here. So, Patricia Abelheim is the battleship for the Atelier Ryza collab. And her stats are as followed. At 120, her health is 8,336. Firepower is 435. Torpedo is 0. Aviation is 0. Anti-air is 348. Reload is 155. Evasion is 39. Heavy armor, 30 speed, 68 hit, 52 luck, 0 ASW, and 50 on the oil cost. So across the board, very normal. For stats for battleships, it's to be expected. Now, when it comes to her efficiencies, BB gun is 135. Light cruiser gun is 200. Anti-air is 100. Again, pretty normal across the board. Now, when it comes to her skills, Red Flame Slash. When this ship fires her main guns, if this ship has 10 or more AP, consumes 10 AP and activates Red Flame Slash. The slashing part of this attack always deals critical damage. That's really nice. The ship recovers HP equals to 5% of the damage dealt to its enemies. So if you hit really hard, that's actually really good. That's like a really good farming ship in general too. So skills here, if they have the if they have it right here, let me see. The proc right here, this right here, it is a massive AoE. So you're pretty much gonna hit something. So I actually like that skill a lot because it does critical right there, and it heals for like that much. Yeah, as you guys see for like back here. Well, sorry, it heals right here. It does critical damage to enemies right here. So that's actually a really nice skill. It's very wide as well too. So you're pretty much gonna hit something. That's actually a really good skill. Now let's see how she gets AP and stuff once we get into it though. Let's talk about how often this procs. But basically though, because this skill procs with AP, is pretty much one of the rare occasions where a ship has a 100% proc rate that isn't a SS or has a UR or DR. So an SSR battleship with a 100% proc rate on barrage is actually really good. I like that a lot. Now the second skill right here, Arms Enchantment. Increases the ship's evasion by 15%. Increases the ship's damage dealt by up to 20%. The lower her current HP is, so she wants to play with lower HP, which is kind of difficult because she has a healing skill. Increases Atelier Ryza collab character crit rate by 15% against enemies who have been item marked. So she needs to equip an item. The first time one of your main fleet Atelier Ryza collab ships uses an AP consuming skill, increase that skill's power. So so it has to be a ship from the back line. So I can tell you right now, Klaudia doesn't do it. So it probably has to be an elite ship. If I look right here, it has to probably be Serri, because Serri is the only one that probably uses items. Let me check real quick. Item attack. Is there item attack? Yeah, item attacked here. I think so, main fleet. I think she's the one that uses items. I could be wrong here though. But oh no, AP. Okay, I was thinking AP. I was thinking items. It's AP consuming. So yeah, I guess no. Klaudia would definitely work here. Klaudia would make this a much easier experience for Patricia. So Patricia basically has a full proc barrage because Klaudia is using AP all the time with her skills. So Klaudia and Patricia together is a really, really good duo setup by far. It's actually really, really good. So she gets up to 15% crit rate, up to 20% more damage dealt. So that's actually really, really good as well too. So Klaudia and Patricia together is a really, really good duo. Very, very good. And then Flawless Desire increases ship's firepower and accuracy by 15%, and every 9 seconds gains 5 AP. So it's 9 seconds because most BB guns fires around 20 seconds. So when you have 18 seconds for 10 AP, the skill consumes 10 AP, so basically gonna fire. So if you want to maximize Patricia Abelheim as a solo DPSer, you want to use guns where she fires beyond 18 seconds to make it so she gets that 10 AP. Because if you use a fast gun and she doesn't have the 10 AP right away without extra help from other ships, or by herself, I mean. So you have to keep in mind that in order to maximize Patricia's first skill, Red Flame Slash, she has to have at least a decently slow gun or an average speed gun to maximize Red Flame Slash. So it has to be beyond 18 seconds to get 10 AP to use this right here. All right. And then the augment skill, same thing up until right here. Now here's the difference. Every 9 seconds, this ship gains 10 AP. So from augmentless to augment is huge. You kind of want to have this augment specifically for Patricia because this one is massive right here. With this 9 seconds for 10 AP, you can now use any BB gun you want and still get the Red Flame Slash. So that's really, really good. You want to have this augment. It's very, very mandatory to have on Patricia. Very, very important. And every 2 times the ship fires Red Flame Slash, activates Fatal Drive, Flawless Desire, damage based on skills level, stuff like that. I believe it's this right here. So the extra pink slash that you see, more damage, man, more damage. So that augment is really, really important for Patricia. Not only does it make it so she can use more guns available for Red Flame Slash, you also get more damage as well too. So having her augment is important, and overall her kit is really, really good when combined with another main fleet ship like Klaudia to get maximized value out of Arms Enchantment. Really, really good. Now, Reisalin, Stout, Ryza. Oh my lord, this is going to be a painful one because it's going to be a very complicated shit to talk about. Now, for Ryza, at 120, she has 4,437 health, 144 on firepower, 375 on torpedoes, 0 aviation, 378 anti-air, 199 on the reload, 117 on the evasion, light armor, 35 speed, 162 on the hit, 66 luck, 163 on the ASW, and 11 oil cost. So across the board, about average or so for light cruisers. I think a little bit higher for the health nowadays for light cruisers, so it's actually not that bad. And in terms of efficiency, 130 on the light cruiser gun, 60 on the torpedoes or the auxiliary slot, and 100 on the anti-air auxiliary slot. So if you guys don't know, Ryza or Reisalin, or you want to call her kit is very unique in the sense that she has kind of like what Rika has, in the sense that she has multiple auxiliary slots. So in this case right here, we go to gear. She has one main gun and 4 auxiliary slots. Now this auxiliary weapons right here, but it's the same thing essentially. So that's interesting right there. That's very, very interesting. Kind of like Rika. Now the first skill she has is Shining Blast. When this ship performs an item attack, and it hits an enemy, if this ship has 6 or more AP, consumes 6 AP and activates Shining Blast. A level 10, based on skills damage, and cooldown is 3 seconds in between activations. That's actually quite a lot. Quite a lot. And Shining Blast, you guys can see right here, looks like this. So you see this like little lightning strike coming down from the sky. That is going to be your Shining Blast right here. It has pretty nice AoE. It's really fast well too. There's no slow there's no like wait time. It's instant hit. Not bad for damage. Not bad for damage. Now, the second skill right here, Alchemy Teacher. For all Atelier Ryza collab characters in the fleet, makes their item attack stronger, increase their crit rate by 20%. Enemies who have been item marked, which is hit by an item, take 10% more damage from Atelier Ryza collab ships. So right here, the 20% crit rate, I believe Patricia also has a 15% crit rate. So when you have this right here, 15% crit rate, and you have Atelier who also gives 20% crit rate for item marked and item attacks, or just Atelier Ryza ships in general, that is a 35% crit rate. That is a 1 in 3 chance of hitting something. Now there's also default crit as well too, so it's like, this is really, really high. When you have all these ships together, these kits give a lot to each other. Like all the Atelier ships work really, really, really well together. So 35% crit rate plus is really, really good. Really powerful skill right here. And every 4 times the ship fires her main guns, gains 8 AP. So that's not hard at all. Like cruisers are really fast at building that kind of stuff up. Increases this ship's firepower anti-air evasion by 12%. And the augment skill, Grand Chariot Plus, it's the same thing, but you get 10 more AP. And every 2 times the ship fires Shining Blast, activates Fatal Drive Grand Chariot. And Grand Chariot right here looks like this. It's like a giant laser, kind of like that heavy cruiser from SS Gridman. It's kind of like that. But overall, though, if you guys want to know how item attacks work, there are these special items you craft in the alchemy that you guys can look into, like Genesis Hammer, Bubble Bullet, stuff like that. What these things are like items for most Atelier Ryza ships, like I talked about earlier for Kella Idea. Now, in Ryza's case, she has a lot of these items specifically for her, like Grand Bomb right here for Ryza, Crystal Ice Bomb for Ryza, Latte Plagic for Ryza as well too, and the Werberluff for Ryza. Any of these you can toss onto her, and it'll give an item a mark, and it does like additional like burn damage, slows, and stuff like that. Overall, really, really good. But I'll talk about the upcoming video. So personally, as of right now, I'm not sure what the best item toss for her is. We'll figure it out when I talk about the upcoming video. But overall, though, she's a very, very good supporting character. She gives a lot of crit rate, makes it so enemies take more damage from Atelier Ryza ships. She has some really good procs as well too, like Shining Blast and Grand Chariot. Overall, a very solid light cruiser by all means, because she's a very supporting character for the other ships for Atelier Ryza collab. So overall, really good, especially inside her own faction, which is Atelier Ryza. Now, as for the elite ships, I don't want to talk too much about these, but we'll go ahead and just brief over them. Lila Decyrus, 4001 health, 272 on firepower, 253 on torpedoes. Anti-air is 207, reload is 179, evasion is 72, medium armor. 24 speed, 124 on the hit, 46 on the luck, and 11 on the oil cost. So as heavy cruiser, much lower health compared to a lot of them, especially even like Ryza has more health than Lila, so it's kind of like whatever. Heavy gun efficiencies is 135, torpedoes 160, and anti-air is 100, so kind of whatever across the board as well too, but kind of decent, I guess. Not whatever, it's like kind of decent. I'll give her that. For skills though, Elemental Link. When this ship fires her main guns, if the ship has 5 or more AP, consumes 5 AP, the ship fires ice, fire, lightning, or wind elements chosen randomly, performs a level 10 elemental attack corresponding to the enemy. So 5 seconds in between activation, so it's going to proc quite often. I will say this though, if you guys have a really bad phone or an emulator, have fun using Atelier Ryza ships. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're going to be procking a lot. A lot. Elemental power, well, let me see if they have a skill for this though. They might. So the first skill right here, assuming they have it, does the elemental slash. That's basically what you see right here. Elemental power, every 10 seconds, increase the ship's evasion by 5%, stacks up to 3 times, so 15% total. Increase the ship's damage dealt by 3% for each element spirit she possesses. So I believe this is for this right here, but again, it's random, so you can't really determine like what she gets. If you get unlucky, she chooses win every single time. You basically get 3%. But if you get lucky, she can go up to 12%. So that's actually not that bad. But it's RNG though, so it's inconsistent. Einzel Kampf. When the ship fires her torpedoes, gains 8 AP, increases the ship's firepower and torpedo by 50%. So you kind of want to have a fast torpedo, I guess. If you want to use her, fast torpedoes to gain more AP. So you can proc more elemental link. So she gets more damage increased by elemental power. That's kind of how you want to build her. And then Einzel Camp Plus, same as the basic one, but every 4 times the ship's elemental link activates, removes all elemental spirit, activates fatal drive Einzel Camp. Damage is based on skills levels. So I mean, it has it right here. So it's like a multi-slash elemental in the back. Alright damage, I guess. Not like amazing, but it's like decent. It's alright though. As an elite, it's not bad by all means. So it can definitely be better. I don't like the RNG aspect of Elemental Link, but everything else though, like her kit is actually not that bad. It's just that she's an elite. A lot of her stats are lacking. So the last thing she wants is more elements or more RNG skills to her kit. So not a big fan of the RNG part, but overall though, the kit together is like not that bad. And then Serri Glaus aircraft carrier at 120, 6,581 health. That's actually a lot for a elite aircraft, I feel. Yeah, that's actually a lot. Interesting. Alright, whatever. 394 on the aviation, 298 on anti-air, 138 on reload, 48 on evasion, medium armor, 28 speed, 100 hit, 40 luck, and 12 on the oil cost. So health-wise, it is massive. It is a massive health buff by all means. So she's durable. She's tanky. I like that. For elite, that's really good. Now for her slots. 120 fighters, 125 on dive bombers, 135 on torpedo bombers, so another AoE wave clearing aircraft carrier by all means. And her skills, wild growth. When the ship activates, a stack of wood elements activates wild growth. And if we have the picture right here. Wait, they don't even have it. Okay, never mind. They don't have it here. So we can't see skills right here, so my bad. Silly, we can't look at that. Spirit Gift, Atelier Ryza collab ships in the field take 10% less damage from shelling torpedo damage from enemies who have been marked, so that's really nice. When an AP consuming skills activate, or when this ship launches an airstrike, the ship gains 1 stack of wood element. Only one wood element can be gained per second, up to 5 can be stored. Increases ship's damage dealt by 2% and increases damage taken by 1% for each stack of wood that she has. So, overly complicated kit for whatever reason. But basically, damage reduction overall for her fleet of Atelier ships, and decrease herself damage taken as well too, and damage dealt. That's basically it. Eternity Bloom. When the ship launches an airstrike, the ship gains 5 AP, increases this ship's aviation and anti-air by 15%. Not bad as well too. Push the AP part, and then the augment part. Once per battle, when this ship has gained 5 stacks of elemental wood, resets all stacks to animate Fatal Drive Eternity Bloom, level 10, based on skill, based on whatever. So just extra damage, right? So overall, let's give these ships a ranking. Now I will say this: the way they made these ships, you kind of want to have all of them in one fleet. Because look right here, we have 3 Vanguards, Kella Ideas, Lila Decyrus, and Ryza. And for backline, we have Serri, Klaudia, and Patricia. The way they design these ships, you kind of want to have all of them in one fleet. That's just how it is. So you kind of want to have to pull all of them. That being said, though, let's go ahead and rank them. I will say, as of right now, kit-wise, I really like Kella Ideas, and I really like Klaudia. These ships right here are going to be really good. So starting with Kella Ideas, overall, she's going to be a really, really good pickup for most new players because she is the first SSR large cruiser in the game. Very accessible by only having 10,000 points in the milestone rewards. Has a really good, unique kit for basically everything. Damage buffs, heals. Really durable. And just has that emergency button in case something happens to one of your ships. But it's a very small window. And one of her biggest flaws is that she does not have easy access to large cruiser guns because most of them are PR gated. As a new player, most of you guys do not have PR guns, so you're going to have to use large cruiser or heavy cruiser guns to suffice for not having large cruiser guns. All right. But overall, though, a very good pickup, a very, very good ship overall. Hella ideas. The next ship right here, Klaudia Valentz. Klaudia is a very, very good light aircraft carrier. A lot of heals, a lot of utility as well too. Works very well with the other backline ships of Atelier Ryza, and as a whole in a whole fleet competition, really, really good as well too. Can't say anything wrong with it. She has the first ever full AoE team heal by just being on the field at the start. Now we have Perseus and Unicorn preload heals, but they have to use their airstrikes, whereas Klaudia, the moment a fight starts, she heals everyone. So that's really, really good. So she saves her airstrikes for later, which is really, really nice. So if you do something like Klaudia, Unicorn, and Perseus, that's a lot of heals. That's a lot of heals right there. Like you can probably get off like 14% heals with Klaudia, Unicorn, and Perseus at the start of a battle. At the start. That's really, really good. So overall, a very, very good ship pickup by all means. Very, very powerful. Patricia Abelheim, really, really good skills well too, especially when she has 10 AP. She has a 100% proc barrage for a battleship. That's an SSR. That's very, very rare. Overall, very good ship. Works really well with her other ships as well too, like Klaudia and with Patricia together. Very, very powerful. Can't say anything wrong with this ship at all. Very, very good indeed as well too. Ryza has a very gimmicky kit. She has a lot of items for item attacks, but overall though, she's a really good team buffer, and she just offers a lot to the team if you run a lot of Atelier Ryza collab ships. Damage buffs. Crit rate, same as Patricia as well too. She also gives crit rate to the team, so 35% crit rate together is really, really good. And overall though, a lot of damage, a lot of procs. Rest in peace your phones and your emulators, really good. And then Lila Decyrus and Serri, even though they are elites, if you want to run a full Atelier Ryza setup, they're actually not that bad. This time around, the elites are not bad because if you run a full fleet of Atelier Ryza ships, the whole fleet together is really, really good. So Even though Lila has that gimmick of RNG stacking for Elemental Spirit, the rest of her kit right here is really good. If you get a really good run with element stacking, she could be a really good ship as well too. Serri has a lot of damage reduction for the team. We run a full Atelier Ryza setup as well. Can't go wrong with her either. These two are actually good pickups this time around because, again, they're really good in a full Atelier Ryza setup. All right. So overall, I'll say this. For an Atelier Ryza collab setup, for a collab banner, all these ships are really good. So I can't really justify saying get one ship because you kind of want to have all of them. When you have all of them to combine together, it's a very powerful fleet. Probably not the best for bossing, but overall though, a very powerful fleet. So I will say for the rankings, I will say Kala Ideas and Klaudia Valentz are really important pickups because Klaudia is a really good healer, and Kala Ideas is the first large cruiser a lot of people have access to. So those are important pickups. But there are no bad pickups here. Even the elites are really good because when you're running a full Atelier Ryza setup, they're all very powerful together. All right? So no bad ships this time around. Even the elites are really good. Even me, who do not like talking about elite ships most of the time, they're all very good with running in a full fleet setup. So I hope you guys enjoyed that long video of Yu-Gi-Oh! Effects ships nowadays. That's just how it is. Remember that if you want to maximize these ships, some of them you're going to have to use specific items like Ryza, and make sure you have their augments as well too on each and every one of these ships. You get that from Alchemy and all that jazz. But thank you guys for watching. I apologize for my allergies throughout the whole video. Sneeze and other stuff going on. I apologize. I'm having a really rough day with allergies right now. I truly do apologize, but hope you guys don't find it too bad. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned something. Any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to look at them and answer them if someone didn't answer it already. Otherwise, though, a good banner overall. All these ships are really, really good. Kala Ideas and Klaudia stands out the most to me, but overall, though, really, really good ships. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.